on the shores of the road. Some have entered again. So what informed that initiative? What plans do the implementers put in place to ensure that some of these things will not occur? Mind you, almost all our drainages are open drainages. And in this age and time, we are still constructing open drainages. The salt, sand, and other things, you put them on the shores of the gutters. Then, a day or two, it goes back. So what are we doing? Is it the cameras that we want to capture? Or is it that there's money somewhere, so let's do something to find the money? I don't think some of these things really helps, because they are lost in our bylaws. They are lost there. So I don't see why who don't know that somebody should clean his or her frontage. It's everybody's responsibility. Now, when even individuals distil the place, send the rubbish and other things home, the company that has been mandated, the polluter pay system that we are practicing now, you go there and they tell you, oh, every 3 days we come and charge your rubbish away. And you go there weeks, they don't come. So when the person takes this thing home, he does it the following week. The bin get full. Where does the person send it to? Does he keep it in his room or in his kitchen? It will end up at where they pick it from. So I believe before we do some of these things, we really need to sit down, think through what we need to do, because we know what is causing those things, right? I went around and most of the gutters are choked. The water becomes stagnant. How do we do?
But we also know that during the campaign, on the day of the campaign, we saw people on the ground desilting these gutters. And I'm surprised you are talking about rubbish left on the shoulders of the road. Because from the few areas that I have been through around Circle, along that line, I saw that the rubbish had been taken away. So which areas are you talking? That's where
you come to Adenta, go to Medina. When I was coming, I decided to take some shots. I can show you some of them. Some of them are still there, right? Now, we do have the sanitation inspectorate directorate in assemblies. What are their work? What are their work? We've politicized everything to the extent that the work that needs to be done for us all to be free has been politicized. Today, go and arrest somebody or go and give a sermon that, oh, you didn't do right here or you didn't do so you are, and see
now
where the issue will end.
Your point has been well made. I'll take Mr. Smith-Asante's opinion. You sharing the things that he said, yes.
I said initially that it's early days yet, because cleaning Circle and some satellite areas to signify the launch of the campaign does not amount to it being successful, because Accra alone is bigger than Circle, Carnation, and other areas. I live at Spintex. It's a clean operation, clean your frontage. People's frontages are working with weeds. People are messing up their frontages. You can clean your front, and your next door neighbor will not do that. The wind will blow the garbage and polythene and everything, sometimes flying over your wall. If it's your wall, it flies into your compound. That's why I'm saying that it's early days yet. And Operation Clean Your Frontage is not for the regional minister. It's not for the regional coordinating council. It's for all people living in Accra, even by extension in Ghana. And we don't expect the regional minister to go and clean people's houses. We don't expect people who clean their houses to also look for a place to dump them. So it's a two-way affair. We keep our frontages clean. We make sure that we don't have any garbage around. We make sure that every garbage that we make, we collect them and put them at designated places. The waste management companies make sure that they do their bit by catching them to the appropriate places. Then it's a win-win situation. But if we're saying that just on the other 2 weeks and we want to see something happen, I've told you that it's a habit that we've formed over the years. By God's grace, we've traveled to other countries. Are they not also making waste? In fact, some of the things that we may consider waste, it's no waste to them, because there's always something to be done with things that we don't have immediate need for. The empty plastic bottles, the whatever, they recycle, and even the tires that are worn out, even in Ghana here, it's been recycled for other things. We use the plastic bottles for what do you call it, pavement. But there's a lot of things to be done. So if we're just focusing on making sure your area is clean, we are not going to go anywhere. What do we do with the waste? The waste management companies are also challenged. They don't have, it's capital intensive. And everywhere you go, they say sanitation is a public good. You don't enter the sanitation sphere to make money. It's a public good. So if the government does not put in money, does not push the different waste companies that we have to do their bit. Look, the compactor or compacting trucks are very expensive. When we talk about recycling, when we talk about managing the waste, the process alone takes a lot. And the individual alone cannot do it. So Operation Clean Your Frontage, yes, it's meant to make us all aware that we have a duty. We have a duty to ourselves, to our communities, to our nation, and to everybody else to make sure we live in cleanliness. You remember in 2014 or thereabout when we have the worst cholera outbreak in Ghana, many people died. Cholera is literally it rides on filth. You know, he was talking about people clearing the gutters or drains and putting things at the shoulder of the roads. I have had a problem with it from God knows when. But when they collect, where do they take them? When they are going to do those cleanups, there should be a means to cut all of those things away immediately. Because sometimes the thinking is that there's so much water in the waste, let's let it drain. They leave it there for several days and several weeks, and what happens? We all know it goes back into the drain. We've been saying that making closed culverts or drains are very expensive, but that's where we must go. We cannot be doing open drains in this day and age. I have an empty water sachet. I look left, I look right. There's no bin. I can just throw it away.
But that is also an offense, but per the bylaws.
It's an offense. Per the bylaws. It's not Ghana. You know that many countries have come to Ghana to study us, to learn the laws that we have. We have beautiful laws in our statutes. But the question is, are we using them? There's a different thing having the law. There's a different thing implementing. During the launch of the operation Clean Your Frontage, we saw some inspectors who were also adopted that we're going to have what we used to call saman, because I remember not too long ago, I was old enough, as Machaiko, somebody came in and had the audacity to come and check even at the back of the house. We had walled our house, knocked, because he's coming from the yes, to inspect them, make sure that it's not only the frontage that is clean, but even the back. Do we have that now?
We do have that, but we do not have it in the form of the Saman that we used to know. They've developed an app that is taking care of it.
Because if there's this saying that people don't do what you expect them to do. They do what you inspect them to do. You know that human beings are such that we all want our freedom. Oh, come of it. Why should I hold this rubbish till I get to a place where I can see? So if there's somebody there, I'll throw it away. And sadly, some older ones are teaching their kids. So it's a cycle. When they leave the scene, their kids also come to think that there's nothing wrong with. You'll be following a vehicle, very beautiful vehicle, very affluent family in the vehicle. They throw away their wrappers and everything onto the streets. Sometimes when you ask people, they say that if we don't throw these things out, what job is the people who are going to clean the street, what are they going to do?
And you see, I have problem with that. Because in whatever laws you bring, there's responsibility and obligation, right? Tell me, who can hold this thing? Maybe from here to circle. But in elsewhere, the laws are there. They've provided means for you to drop the empty can somewhere at a point. You understand? So you have where you should. Here. Where do you put it? But
Franklin, if you walk through parts of the capital, you see that at some point these things were provided, but unfortunately, I don't know what happens. They disappear.
It's not even a matter of stolen. It's unfortunate I didn't bring the other phone. I would have shown you. The thing gets full and nobody comes to empty it.
I've already alluded to that fact. The waste management companies must also do their part.
What would be the motivation factor for anybody to hold this thing for maybe 2 or 3 kilometers and when meet such a situation there? The place is messy. You throw it there. Next time, you won't bring it there. You throw it somewhere. You understand? So, before some of these things, I always tell people that Ghana is the only country that most of the times, whatever we do, we jump before we even think of where to land. We always jump before we think of where to land. Instead of thinking of where to land before we jump. You understand? How many years? How many years now? If you're under the 4-foot public, the laws are there. What makes it enforceable? Has the government done his bit that he's supposed to do? Has the private sector... Look, we are in this country. People have gone to bid for contracts. They have been awarded. You come with a nice proposal, oh, I will do A, B, C, D. To me, you know why you say you can do A, B, C, D. Now, job is given to you, and you go and do otherwise.
So who is supervising those people?
That's it.
And that's I said, we have a lot. It's just cleaning your frontage.
Because you assign me a work to do. Once you assign a work to do,
if you didn't
come, your producer or your senior people will call to find out why you didn't come. But it's a situation where people do anything anyhow. Look, one is coming from government. I don't want to mention anybody's name, but this is it. Government should pay. We should take our money from source. So whether the work is done or not, and people, sometimes it's very hurting to say certain things, but those who have been put in place of authority to ensure that the right things are done should sit up.
They're also reneging on their duties.
Yes.
So they should sit up.
Now, you can send in your comment on 0557446429, 0557446429. Now, on the issue of people reneging your duties, we pay taxes to these assemblies, we pay property rates, other taxes, we even have the sanitation levy now. The issue many people raise is this. And from my point of view, I'm wondering why we are not talking about this. We pay taxes to these assemblies to clean these areas, to clean the gutters. Why should we still again have to take up the responsibility? Because if you look at the bylaws, it even says that if you are supposed to be cleaning your frontage and you don't clean it, and the assembly takes up the responsibility to clean it, then you are surcharged after I've paid my taxes.
You know, the one is we will only dwell on cleaning people's function or your actions. So I don't think that it's a matter of, oh, we've paid them, so we should just go and dirty. People are so responsible.
It's not a matter of going to dirty, but you clean to a certain extent.
You clean to a certain extent. Why were we having people come into our homes to inspect? Why?
You see, Eddie,
why were we? Let me lie. Why were we having people come into our places to inspect? Were we not paying them?
We were.
We were. So why were they coming? They were coming to make sure that we were doing our bit. And now, because nobody is coming to check, as I said, human being by nature wants freedom. If nobody is coming to check and I'll do anything, you go to people's places. Ah, goodness. Some of the places that they cook your kenke and the other things that you so enjoy or watch. If you go and see the environment in which they cook, I bet you will not eat again. Who is supposed to check on this? There are people there. They are sanitary inspectors. They are environmental health inspectors. Over the years, I think the people who were there had grown and gone on pension. They were not employing people to fill those places. Over time, we've had nobody to be filling those roles. But now I hear that they're trying to bring people on board to do those jobs. I think that if we get people to do their jobs, with their supervisors also do their job as we have been promised, and we also do our bit, Ghana will be a clean country. Plain and simple. Because it's not a one-way thing. Do it. As I said earlier that it's a public good too. The government also must be interested. What if we want to sell our country? The tourism may be the third or so foreign exchange earner for the country now. But if the country is dirty, who would want to visit your country? I've been to places and you can virtually drop food on the streets and pick it up and eat because we are sure that it's so clean. quite recently we heard that some street sweepers had been launched or adored. Where are they? Have you been seeing them working? Where are they?
And we see them in the lorry parks.
It's all in the mix, because sometimes I weep inside me, because you see a road that has been just constructed and a pile of sand or dirt on it, because the cars will come from other places and use it. And over time, that's why why our streets don't take long. Over time, you see that street or that road that we use so much of the taxpayers' money to construct is destroyed. Elsewhere, they don't just sweep, they wash. The sweeper washes, it cleans, so clean. So there's no way you can buy a shoe, you walk on the streets, and nobody will
still feel new.
Yes, you can. So there are a lot of things we are not doing right. And if you go to behind what do you call the place, Lethab's pharmacy or jewelry or pharmaceuticals, they drain there. It's always had garbage. They have cleaned. They have tried to cordon off that area. They've sacked the people there, but that canal or dog canal is still filled with filth. Why?
It's the mentality.
You see,
it's not just from there. It's from upstream. You know that drain stretches up to Caprice and other places. So beautiful. And I don't know how God did it, but when you go to many countries, every especially the big cities, they all have very big canals running through the cities, and they are so clean. They are using some for sports, for tourism. What are we using ours for?
You see, on the issue of taxes, fine, we pay taxes. Growing up, I saw street sweepers, we saw cleaners. Almost all the gutters along the streets were being managed by the assemblies. There's some people you are talking of. They will come to your house to ensure that your house is clean, because, mind you, when your house is dirty and flies come there, they move to other places, and there's sickness. So they come. I can't remember. They will even inspect what you put your water in to see whether it's clean or not. Where are those people? We pay money to the assemblies. Come, just go to, I don't want to mention any assembly, but you know, let any of your reporters go out there. Go to the various assemblies. At the heart of the assembly, you will see the filth in there. Just at the right of the assembly, where the MCs, the DCs are there. Go there and see what is happening there. We take the money all right. Where the money goes has become a problem. Go and ask them the sanitation aspect of the budget that we're giving to the assemblies. What they use it for? How many people have they been employed to ensure that the streets are kept clean? We've gone to sleep. Even in those days where we said our forefathers didn't go to school, and for that matter, their knowledge and wisdom were down. Today we have ADs. And somebody will come and tell you he's Dr. this, Dr. that. So ask them, what are you doctoring, or what are you professing? Simple and basic things that has been done so many years ago. We can't even maintain it, let alone to improve upon it. Today it rains and everywhere is Friday. Where are the wetlands? Where are the wetlands?
Built on them.
Go to Odoko. I was shocked about 2 days ago that I passed there. Eddie, so I asked myself, who is supervising these monumental structures there? And unfortunately, they are buildings, huge story buildings. Look, nature. You can never cheat. I know houses that were built in water course. 10, 15 years down the line, everybody has moved out from that place. So why do we sit? People we are using our taxes to pay, and we're giving them the authority and power to ensure that the right things are done. I'm going to bed, and everybody is quiet.
But as journalists, what do we do to get these assemblies
as a journalist,
to be up and doing?
What at all can you do?
I've
had an issue with some assemblies because I was frequenting there, and you go there today, they tell you stories, and even a sheet of paper that will be given to you, it has to move about 10, 15 tables before you get it. And when you get it, they will respond in it. Sometimes insulting. to say the least. The result, and when they see you, they think you are pestering them. You are there to serve my interest. The taxes we gave you, you use them for entertainment allowance, drink carbos, what, and you enjoy yourself. So ensure that the right things are done for me to be free to. You can't do it. Then what again are you there for? What again are you there for? The taxes we are paying. The sanitation levy.
I was just about coming to that and get it. Have we tried to find out how much we have already gotten from that levy, and whether or not it's even playing a role in this Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign in Accra?
Look, I have the cost to find out from sector players. To date, nobody knows how much has come into the kitty, how much has been accrued from that levy. The regulations, 6 months after its introduction, the Minister of Finance should come to Parliament to brief the House how much has been collected. As I speak, the modalities to share the money, whether it will go to solid waste or liquid waste or whatever it is, we don't know. Almost a year down the line that the tax was introduced. You go to the polythenes and then, when you go to the, I've forgotten this thing. The money that they spoke about it, now they even stop. So yes, they will introduce the taxes. They will collect it. But as to what they are using it for, where it goes, how much has come in, has become another issue. And as a journalist, all you can do is to make a talk.
Make noise.
You talk. At a point, you give up. Because
you don't give up.
No, you see, you'll be talking, you'll be writing, and even the very people that need to add their voice to it will sometimes send you wonderful messages telling you all sorts of things. You understand? So until we hold people we are paying with our hard-earned taxes responsible, things will not get done right.
But Eddie, how do we hold them responsible if a continuous write-ups and all the talk is not yielding any results?
No, we don't have any option of giving up as journalists. That's why we are there. We are here as a mouthpiece of the woman at Makola, at the woman at Adinkudu, the market woman at Malamata, who cannot have that kind of access that we have to speak. That's why we are there. So if we say we are going to throw our hands up in despair, then we'll be doing a great disservice to the people, and we'll not have any business calling ourselves journalists.
But talking is not yielding the results, obviously.
You talk, it does. It does. Wherever there have been citizens have now risen up and said that no, we will not allow this to happen. It is because the journalists have spoken over time. And now they have come to understand. Maybe there's something we are not doing right. We are not letting the people understand the issues on the ground. Like my brother said, if everybody understands that, look, so and so is taking from me, I'm paying this as a levy, sanitation levy, and I don't know how much is being collected and how much, it means that there's no transparency. If we continue to open the eyes of the people to these things, I don't think people will think that we are making noise. It's all for the good of everyone. Because, mind you, when the cholera came, it did not choose
whose house to go to.
Whose house to go to. It did not say that you are fair in complexion, you are dark, so I'll come to you. It did not say that you belong to this party. It did not say that you belong to this family. So there's no politicizing of sanitation issues. I always say that sanitation is not an issue of politics.
And seriously, I've had guests come here to talk about how we have, over the years, politicized issues on sanitation.
How?
We've politicized issues on sanitation in this country. Now, a government introduces a policy, people sort of get to adapt to that policy or adapt to that policy, and then all of a sudden there's a change and we have to let go of that policy, then there's another one, and you feel that all of these things are becoming a serious challenge on how we progress when it comes to sanitation.
I don't think that, I don't know, maybe we're not doing something right, because in other jurisdictions where the government itself has put something in place, another government doesn't come and say that, look, I'm throwing this thing away. So what are we not doing right? I think that's what we should check. Maybe there's no blueprint or there's no document on what we are doing things anyway. Then everybody will have cause to come and change that. This is my style. But so far as, especially when there have been town council meetings or something, we have fora across the countries concerning things, and the government has taken a decision. That is how we should go. Whether you belong to whether a different party comes on board or not, that is not the issue. But over the years, I think we have not done things right. So anybody has the audacity to come and say that, look, we don't like this, let's see. And then not cutting, especially with even the establishment of some ministries. This government will come, establish this ministry, another government will come, establish this ministry. And so you don't know that this ministry is now subsumed under someone. I mean, all these things, I think, are not the right way to go. But we can only talk about these things critically, analyze, not insulting anybody, putting the issues out there in the open for everybody to understand. If the people that we are speaking for and writing for understand these things, our job would have been done. We will sit back and they will say, no more, not again. We are not going to allow the people that we have put in power to take us for a ride. And and our job would have been done. So
you think these town hall meetings you are having about the e-levy, you think these meetings could also be replicated when it comes to issues on sanitation and the bylaws?
Why not? Why not? And we should do it such that everybody will have a buy-in, not just go and group people who belong to a certain class or a certain group, and then say they are doing town council meeting. It should involve everybody from the bottom of this ladder to the top. Everybody must be involved and have a say as well. And then we'll be doing something. But otherwise, we'll be wasting our time with all these things.
You see, why should you take a certain political party to be trumpeting these things? Once we have an organization like NCC there, what has become of them? Are there people there working? Are there people there working? Are they taking monies? If they are taking salary for, right, they are taking salaries for what? What are they taking salaries for? You see, civic education is right of every person. Even though the ignorance of the law is not an excuse, sometimes it's an excuse. Because if I don't know that this thing should be placed here, and I come in places why will you arrest me? That's why when you go to the developed places, signs, designs and other things have been done to warn and caution you so that you don't do it. And when people see they don't do it, what happens here? Sanitation issues has been on the drawing board. Look, I can't remember. As young as I was, look at where we used to go and dump refuse. When a small settlement is put up, look at where we. But today, what is happening? The National Sanitation Day, that people thought, oh, it's a national thing, so at least once every month it reminds people of their sanitation. Where has it gotten to? The companies that were behind, sponsoring, promoting, making all the fanfare about it. I don't know the same people who are behind this Operation Clean Your Frontage. I don't know the same people. What happened to the National Sanitation Day? Why is it that when something is done, as a private person, you don't give people reason to believe in? The minister brought up, oh, minister, this is fine, but this is similar or the same as the National Sanitation Day. So let's push the National Sanitation. Let's polish it where we went wrong. Let's address the issue, then come up with it again. But you don't go and come. We always play with what's here? Semantics, titles. No. Then we put up, we do this. Look, politicians will come and go. I always tell them that they will come and go. But the people down there, are still down there. By the time you come out, you get out, or you step down from the high ladder, down, you come and meet us there. So, with the people have been dormant for a long time. That's how I see it. People are not speaking. Even those you meet and discuss issue with, you see their line of reasoning. It's either they are from certain regions, so this is where we belong to, or I was born into this family, so this is where we belong to. If that mindset is not changed, I don't know when. I just don't know when you get things done right in this country.
Well, let me take a few of our messages from the viewers. So there's one from Amadou Alassan. He's speaking from the northern region, Tamale. He says, in fact, your program is very educative, especially our health. Keep it up. Well, we're doing our best, Amadou. And there's William from Kanda. He says, I just want to add my voice. The discussion is so educative. One thing I know is that though it's early days yet, we have to encourage it and not discourage the initiative since it is for our own good. Ghanaians must learn to change. Thank you very much, William from Kanda. And you can also send yours coming on 055-744-6429, 055-744-6429, and you can also call into the program on 0264000-997, 0264000-997. You can call in and then share your comments and your suggestions with us. Now let's look at the approach of Operation Clean Your Frontage. There's that part of being surcharged if you're not able to clean your frontage, and then the assembly comes in. We've had these bylaws for years. So how are we certain that this is going to work? These bylaws have been there. We've always flouted them. We've not paid any heed to them. So what's so different about this that we feel that this particular one will work when you're using Operation Clean Your Frontage?
During the pilot in certain areas in Accra, some of the things that came out was that those who were summoned, they said that they had cleaned their places, the gutters in front of their shops or whatever, but people from up didn't, so it ended up in what you do. Are you going to still surcharge them? And one thing that I've also come to realize is that the assemblies were saying that they didn't have the power then because some of the bylaws, though they were there, they had not been gazetted. So
let me just cut you in. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome to Washa. Yes, good evening.
Good evening. My name is I'm from and I'm a Ghanaian who's been out of the country for a long time. And when I came back, I always in the rubbish, I always be angry because everywhere's dirty, right? And so in my neighborhood, I have a big trash can. You put all the rubbish in it, and you go to where you're supposed to put it, where they have that big trash thing, and it's overflowing everywhere. So here you are, you cleaned up, you collected the trash, and there's nowhere to put it. And so it's very frustrating just for them to say in the frontage, but it's where you're going to go to dispose of it. It's not being cleaned, and Zoomline, whoever is supposed to pick up this trash doesn't. So you take yours there, and you know that if you dump yours on top of what is there, it's going to be all over the street. You need to get serious about it. It's not about cleaning your frontage. They need to figure out where to put the trash after you clean it. But for this program, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Shalom from Pam Pam. And you just heard her. She has cleaned her frontage. In fact, the entire neighborhood. They've collected it and then it's been dumped in a big trash can in the community. But it's been left 4 days.
Dorian, you see, first of all, I have issue with the name. Operation Clean Your Frontage.
Why should you have an issue?
What makes you your frontage? You saw at Medina Market. See the big drainage there. That's right. Does it make me owner of the drainage?
But you are selling there, so you are selling there, so at least your surroundings until you get to that drainage, you're supposed to clean it.
But mind you, people upstream who throw things out there, it gets in. I remember there was one lady, she was interviewed on one of the network. They cleaned the place in the morning. Within 2 hours, there was a huge pile up. The guys went there to arrest her. I said, why have cleaned here? The rubbish I gathered here I did. So me, I have
So
with the name.
before
Then two.
Before you go on, you have a caller from Castle. Let's take a caller. That's David from Castle. Hello, David. Hello, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, David, go on.
The one thing I want to suggest is committee for 6 years. They are not debating the.
Hello, David. Your line seems to be breaking. If you could reposition yourself.
Of God, and going on and what? Thank you.
David, unfortunately, we could not get you clearly because your line was breaking. I don't know if you can hear me, if you can repeat what you said.
I think he stopped the line.
Well,
So,
unfortunately,
like
we
I was
lost
saying,
him. But
there are certain places that the city authorities or whichever assemblies need to take over. They have to own it. When you come to the residential areas and you ask people to own the place, fine. But you can't tell me Medina Market, the gutter along Medina Market, the shop owners there should own it. Own it how? After you left, what happens? So the assemblies should own some of these places.
and before you continue again, so unfortunately, I have to be cutting in. We have Musa Mohammed from Sapunzungu. Hello, Musa. Hello, Musa.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Musa, please go on.
Hello.
Musa, go on. I'm listening to you. Hello, Musa, please go on. Musa, reduce the volume on your TV.
Nowadays in Accra,
Musa, reduce the volume on your TV. Well, Musa, you'd have to call back. I think we've lost you there. So, Franklin.
So, like I was saying, the city authorities, the various district, municipal, and metropolitan assemblies need to own some of these places. Keep it clean, maintain it to serve as an example, to serve as a motivation to others to do. I don't think you go to any of the estates coming up when you see certain we see in the public places. What you see is huge pile of refuse where they tell you, oh, put it in the dustbin, we'll come for it in the next 2 days, and they come in the next 2 weeks.
So I hear Johnny from Choco is on the line. Hello, Johnny.
Hello.
Yes, Johnny, please make your point.
Yeah, I'm calling from Choco. So I'm really siding with my boss with the yellow top. You know, the assemblies must be working. I think we focusing on our own. The assembly was supposed to do a lot. Like the earlier caller said, they've gathered it, they've cleaned their content, but now it's somewhere whereby there should be trucks to come and get them. But now, and also, you said something earlier on. You know, you'll be cleaning yours. Maybe you are down, and then people from the top will be dumping things. So before you realize, within 1 hour, 2 hours, it's full again. I'm having the same problem where I am in Choco. So yesterday I went to buy a certain metal to cross, make a, block the things coming from there. But then I was told it's illegal to block it. So I want your the people over there, I don't know if they can explain it, if it's illegal to block it. Because the bottles can't go, maybe water can flow, but then it will choke. So that the rubbish will be the other side. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, I get your point.
So, I want to know if it's really an illegal to block it.
Well, thank you very much, Johnny, for that. Would you want to try to help him? He's saying that He's cleaned his frontage. You were making that point earlier.
Yeah.
He's cleaned his frontage, but someone from upstream didn't clean, and they pushed the rubbish in the gutter to his side. Now he bought I think a wire mesh to try and block the waste from getting to his side. Water can flow, but the rubbish in it cannot flow. They say it's illegal.
I think that's a very nice way of taking yourself out of problem. Because I was going to say that if an inspector should come there and see the garbage in your side, it's your word against the other persons. How would they were not there when it happened? How would they know that you're really speaking the truth, or the other person is really speaking the truth? So wire meshes, as long as they are not going to prevent the water, the drains are for water, not for waste. So if the waste is coming from your end, everybody will see that you put it there.
But it's just been told that it's illegal.
It's illegal. I think that even in certain places, they deliberately put a kind of wire mesh in the drains, so that it will hold any rubbish that would accidentally or deliberately come into it.
So I hear Musa is back. So
Okay.
let's get to Musa.
Accra,
Musa,
we have turned our drains to be a dustbin. You would see people were sitting on the roadside. After finish eating, they would then drop the waste into the gutter, and that will not allow the water in the gutter to flow, and that would breed a lot of mosquito. So I wonder why throughout the education that is going on, but we the citizenry, we are not adhering to the rules. It is very appalling. So I'll rest my case here.
well, thank you very much, Musa. Your point is well
Thank
made.
you, ma'am.
And his point is quite interesting. Yes,
it's
we
very
are having this campaign.
It's
Yes,
interesting. Like the first caller said, they sweep their places, they've kept the place well, they collect the rubbish, they go and dump somewhere. Now, everybody and the rubbish are going back. What is the motivation factor for that person to keep doing what he did
It's your health.
earlier? It's your health.
But I think that
It's your health. But what you see, whatever you do, give people reason to buy in. You can't tell me I should hold this cup. You are going to fetch water somewhere. Hot water somewhere. They come and put it inside for me. And for years,
Frankly,
you don't come.
I was going to say that.
Would the chap still hold the cup?
So
long as-
let me cut you in.
okay.
We have Samuel from Downstone Stop. Hello, Samuel.
Yeah, madam, good evening.
Good evening, Samuel.
Good, the more can I fine. But I don't know if you understand it.
Oh, we do, but if you can
Oh.
speak Chi, that's fine.
Okay, so I can speak that here.
You
Okay,
can.
the Nick can say that's my I give you last song. A year, yellow man, Mr. Franklin, or Cano, or mention of the call ECB office, and I in front of the office. On mention name, because the DNA is in the office and I'm on food can buy a man. But if you monitor, say, one day and now, you mention him, or mention correct name. So be able to a steady yourself by your side. And this is near catastrophe. It means very a problem, no, but problem no. Or Catano or Doc or so called Doc, I do. Or Doc or traffic lights message, that's an iron. As a semester, every car, you rely on 4% or more. Yeah, 1 month else or more, every day, 1 by every man. And this any the same program will come. And our pension, 1 more year, 30 months, we need fire service for machine on the pump pushing so in a dear mono. You better the here machine, I beat media pushy, the here 1 more every day. In the Srawa,
Oh, thank you very much, Samuel.
I'm
Thank
wondering whether we can sustain the everyday that he's requesting.
That's
I
another
told you
issue.
that sanitation is very capital intensive, and it's a public good. That's why we need to pump money in there. But I was going to say that in the same way that we surcharge people who have dirtied their surroundings, we should surcharge the waste management companies who have also reneged on their duties. I don't know what is in store for them if they should fail. Because if you say you're going to pick my rubbish once a week or whatever, twice a week or whatever, and you don't do that and you come once in a month, you shouldn't go scot-free. you should be penalized. And I think that that's what the assemblies are not doing. And if they should do that, I think that they will set up, because that's their work that they have decided that you want to do. So why? That's why people will gather their rubbish. Sometimes when you go to residential areas, it's very appalling. You go, everybody has put the rubbish in front of the gate.
They're waiting for...
And the scavengers are coming, vultures. I mean, it's so nasty. Why must we do that to ourselves?
You see, on the issue of we can't maintain people being at work 24/7.
No. I was saying that they're saying that people should come and they're always flashing.
No, it's not even a matter of flashing.
We should go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is people are dumping the thing inside.
Fine.
When we are able to block it from the root, there's no problem.
When you go to airport, let me cite our airport here. When you go there, people do dump there. But every 10 or so minutes, you see people...
You think people are throwing things away anyhow?
Even whether throwing it anyhow or not,
don't.
at least, like I said, some places should be owned by the assemblies. Employ people to keep those gutters in the streets clean.
Okay, before you continue, there's Samuel Armstrong from Kaswa. Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, Samuel, please make your point. And you're our last caller.
Yeah, this sanitation problem you've been talking about is good, but it looks like the generation now don't know anything about sanitation, because this sanitation issues, I remember quite when we were young at school, we have what we call session garden, that people monitor every session and its clean and how you maintain it. And it gave us some idea about cleaning and nutrition kind of knowledge. But as of now, all the schools, they employ people to come and sweep. By the time they kids come to school, the place is already. They don't know anything about cleaning. So all they know, either they put it on the dustbin or dump it away. So I don't think this thing has to do with cleaning or getting the authorities to clean the place. But I think we need to educate our new upcoming generation for them to understand. Because a kid can tell their mom, what you are doing is not right because our teacher said it. So I think this thing has to have a fundamental education, so that it's going to be something to be continued, not that they become because of politics or because of shame or because of campaign, become a clean, then remove it. Then it continue blocking, like other four places they are talking about. Because when we get there, it's an hassle. If you are from Kaswa, as soon as you get to Odofo, to Accra, everywhere is men. So I think the authorities have to do something about it. And this thing has to be added to our educational curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samuel. And it seems that most of our callers are mentioning Odoko, the Odoko area. Yes, most of them are really concerned about the challenge at Odoko. What can they be doing differently?
It's a middle road. Odoko is, especially he says he's coming from Kaswa, so sometimes we are losing sight of the fact that our population at independence has now more than, I don't know how many times. Accra's population is now about 5 million here. 5 million people. Not to talk about those who come and go, the transient population. And we all are making waste. Everybody is making waste. Who is taking care of it? I believe that the assemblies there, if they are overawed, they must say it, they should be helped, because the buck stops with them. Take it or leave it. The buck stops with the assemblies. Otherwise, everybody will do what he or she likes.
Okay. So let me take a message from Moses. He's watching from Atunsu in Kumasi. He's saying, good evening, Doreen, and your esteemed panelists. As Ghanaians must change our attitude towards environmental health. He wants all assemblies to punish without fear. And he's also saying that political interference is defective to watch in Ghana. So we're almost closing. Your final words, what can we be doing differently to support the campaign so that it's successful? First, Franklin.
I think the implementers of the policy should go back, redesign whatever they put in. At least it has been out there for 2 weeks, so they know there are shortfalls. And 2, this initiative, or some of this initiative, shouldn't be looked at as coming from a particular person. Now it's like the Greater Accra Regional Minister is the one doing it. Tomorrow, if the Greater Accra Regional Minister is not there, what happens? What is the blueprint giving a clear-cut implementation and whatever result they want to achieve? That's one. Two, I know construction of roads and other things are very expensive, but does it make sense to just construct road and drain open drainages and have some of these challenges? If we say 1 kilometer you can do and you do it, then you do. Next year, a kilometer will be added to it, so that by say 10, 20 years, all our drainage will be covered, so that it prevents some of this dust and rubber issue coming. Then 3, the polythene situation in the country should be re-looked at. Because look, you go and buy wachi, they'll give you polythene. You buy pure water, they'll give you polythene. Even sometimes the wachi, they can give you 3 or 4 polythene at the same time. Where does this end? People were saying we should educate our children. I began mentoring some school kids to do waste segregation.
In 30 seconds.
Waste segregation, they did it, and when the trash come, it carry everything and puts it together.
So it's not working.
So what motivation would the children have? Those who kept their home in the house, it has become something else. So they are no more doing it. Education will be done, but if you don't have the means to get what should be done right, education will come to naught.
When your final words?
Yes, as I said earlier, I believe that the buck stops with the assemblies. 29 MMDAs in the Greater Accra region, they should be up and doing. And then they should own it so that it doesn't look like it's the regional minister's thing. No, it's for everyone. If they are up to their game, fine. And they should surcharge the waste management companies assigned area. Everybody has a demarcated area. If they fail in their responsibility, they should be penalized. The flouters of the bylaws, you must also be dealt with without fear of favor. You realize that when you go through some of the principal streets, where they are on the median, they've hung a lot of these banners, making so clumsy. I don't know who gave them the authority to hang on those wire meshes that they've used to separate. It's so, I don't know, they at least said about it better. So we should do those, we should make sure that we stop all those things, and then education is key, and NCCE must be equipped to do their bit.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time on Watch. We'll end the program here. My guests in the studio have been Edmund Smith Asante's former coordinator, Ghana Watson, and also Franklin Asari Donko, current national coordinator, Ghana Watson. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. And some of my viewers have been calling the number on the screen. No, do not call that line. That line is for WhatsApp messages. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.